Hey there, Kenny Burgamy here.
And I'm David Earl. It is a big day for the country, the second inaugural of President Barack Obama.
Yeah, our research staff has been busy digging up some fun facts, trivia, if you will. Ready, David?
Let's do this thing right here. Who was the first president to ride in a car at his inauguration?
Why, that would be Warren Harding in 1921. Harding, of course, our 29th president.
All right, this one near and dear to your heart, Kenny, as a former radio man.
Absolutely. You know the first inauguration that was broadcast on radio long before television? That broadcast came from Calvin Coolidge, President Coolidge in 1925.
Also known as Cool Cal, he was the nation's 30th president.
All right, we keep rolling along with some great trivia for you this day.
Yeah, here it is. Who delivered the longest inaugural address? Well, that honor belongs to William Henry Harrison. It cost him, though. In 1841, he caught pneumonia after delivering a 1 hour, 45-minute long speech. Just 1 month after that, he died.
Harrison was the 9th U.S. president.
Okay, from long speeches to long parades. Kenny, a long parade can be absolutely brutal.
You better believe it. Listen to this one. 1953, the parade from Dwight Eisenhower lasted more than 5 hours. Not so sure the people liked Ike after standing around that long.
Oh, Kenny, do you know what was noteworthy about both of Ronald Reagan's inaugural addresses?
Well, they're great addresses, and also I think it has to do with the weather. Reagan's first in 1981 was the warmest on record at 55 degrees, and his second in 1985 was the coldest, recorded at 7 degrees.
Speaking of weather, John Boyer here. He's been scrounging up some inaugural facts about the weather for us. Hey, John.
Hey, that's right. Unfortunately, official records only go back to the 1870s, but in that time, there have been a lot of weather extremes, and both of the temperature extremes belong to Reagan in 1981 and 1985, as you mentioned. But locally, that 1985 date was very special for us here in Central Georgia, too. Even though it was 7 degrees in Washington, D.C. at noon, we set our record low, all-time record low of 6 degrees below zero on January 21st, 1985. The warmest scheduled inauguration date in January did belong to Reagan in 1981. However, the warmest all-time inauguration date was back in August of 1974 when President Ford replaced President Nixon. There were nearly 2 inches of rain for the second inauguration of Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1937 and tons of snow, nearly 10 inches for the inauguration of President Taft in 1909. It was nearly that snowy for President Kennedy in 1961 with a lot of wind too. Now the forecast for Washington, D.C. is clouds and temperatures near 40 degrees at noon today. So this year, 2013, will not go down as one of the more extreme inaugurations.
Pretty average for the second inauguration of President Obama. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. All right, David, what's next?
So time for church and state here. Which president began the tradition of attending religious services on inauguration morning? Well, that would be FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in the year 1933.
Here's a fun fact here. President Obama today tied the record that FDR set with the most inaugurations at 4. That was 2 that he did in 2009 and 2 that he did this go around, 1 yesterday and 1 today.
So lots of people in D.C. to party today.
Yeah, that's right. The 4th president of the United States started the parties. He was the first president to hold an inaugural ball.
His name is James Madison. That year, 1809. Madison, of course, was a popular American statesman during the nation's founding.
All right, last trivia question for you here.
Yep, this one's tough. The official inauguration wasn't always set on January 20th. It's currently mandated by the Constitution. What day did it used to be?
If my history serves me well, that would be March 4th, which would be considerably warmer, I'm sure, a warmer day in March than what it would be in the month of January. By the way, that date was changed in the 1930s.
So there you go. The more you know.
We sure learned a lot here. Hope you did too. Happy Inauguration Day.
Take it easy, everyone.